Ngomong.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Cahyo Adi and my partner here is Rafli, Akbar, Audi, Putra. We are here to presenting about server administrating in gas station.
Yeah, we are from
Uh,
class 1 CC2. To CC.
First, user and group. To first of all, to create a user, you should create a domain as I. Double click the icon to open the Active Directory, users and computers. If you expand your domain, then you will see that it contains many things in it, like users, computers, bulletins, that will show you previously created users groups. Now right click on your domain to add new group. Now you must provide few more items of information to create a new group, like group name, group scope, group type. And then if you have filled the box, click the OK button. Now your domain will show your newly created group. You can make changes to this group. For that, double click on this group. On the first page will be the group name that you can change. You can add an email address or some type of description about the group on this page. The next page is for the member is in which you can add new members to this group. You can add the user either by entering the user's name if you remember the name, or you can do an advanced search to find the user and then add it. The next page is name member of, from which you can make this group a member of any group. You can also either directly enter the name of the group. You can search the names using the advanced search option. The last page is for the user that will manage this group. You can provide the name and information of the person who will be responsible for managing this group. And then for how to create a DNS, and then the DNS from Server Manager dashboard, select Add Roles and Features. This will launch the roles and feature wizard, allowing for modification to be performed on the Windows Server 2012 instance. Select role-based or feature-based installation from the installation type screen and click Next. You will now have select destination server page. Your server will be selected by default, so you can simply click Next to continue. Select DNS server and the following page will come up. Click Add Features to continue. Click Next on the server role page, then review and select optional features to install during DNS server installation by placing a check in the box next to any desired features. Once done, click Next. Click Next on the DNS server tab, then confirm the installation selection, then click Install. Once the installation is complete, you can simply click Close on the result page. You're all set. Then to configure the DNS, click on DNS, right-click your server, select DNS Manager, click the Action tab, select Configure a DNS server. To configure the DNS server, wizard will come up, click Next to continue and select one of the following actions. Create a forward lookup zone. A forward lookup zone is a DNS function that takes a domain name and resolves it to an IP address. Create forward and reverse lookup zones. The reverse lookup zone is a DNS function that takes an IP address and resolves it into a domain name. Configure routes. Hints only route will have the IP address of DNS server where record can be acquired. Select where DNS data will be maintained for your network resources, and then click Next. For your new zone name, in this case, your domain, and click Next. Create new zone file or use an existing one from a different DNS server. Now you select how your server will respond to dynamic updates. Select whether your DNS server should forward queries or not, If you choose yes, type the IP of the server and click next. If no, select no. It should not forward queries and click next. Click finish.
Okay. In network group graph, that's mapping drive policy. So mapping drive policy, it will make you easier to have mapping network drive without you have creating a script. So in this picture, we have a group policy management editor. And then we click the window setting, we click new, we click map drive in there. So in there, after we click map drive, we are already have the the folder that we want to make it map drive to another imaginary network. So in the right side there, the action we are creating, where the location is, I copy paste the where the folder it is, and then I create the location, and then I change it to show this drive, and then show all drive, and then I click apply, and then okay, next. Next. Mapping drive policy. In here, we are changing the targeting editor. We are using the targeting editor, and then we are click the new item. It was I pick the organizational unit, and the user belongs to one or descendants. So in there, I click also another user in there. So the user that we have on my client, and there, and then if it's true, and then you found your user in there, you can go to the OK, and then it will show in the drive maps that I have it. It was only it's created in my client. So in there, I open my client. It was Daven Karyawan, and then I open in my client server, and then it was open in there. As you can see, the folder A, it's already in there. Next. It was the network file service. The network file service, it was a service that will be sharing, that can share many uh, layan the network. So in there, it will be many data storage that was centralized in a machine, or centralized in a server computer machine. So in there, you can see it was a very good sharing center for you can keep, and it have a big RAM. Okay, next year. Okay, so next is map network drive. In here, if I want to make open a folder, so making it easy to open a folder from one network. So in there, I have what folder that I want to share, and then I open Notepad. In the Notepad, I use net use R double dot and then I copy paste the folder that I want, and then I save it. But in the save name, we I I change the name to .bat, and then save as type is all types, and then I save it in the desktop. Next. So in there, as you can see in the desktop, I already have my shared shared notepad. It's already in there. And then when I click it, I have the shared folder that I want in that was creating a new drive. Okay, next. So the remote access. The remote access in here, it have a capability for uh, a device that can be connected from one network. In there, it was so good to have a remote access, so you can uh, control your network in one, control your network, and then to certain places, so you can control it. So in here, as you can see, I downloaded from the PowerShell. Not download it. Yeah, maybe download it from the PowerShell in there, the first one, and then I'm installing from the PowerShell, and then I open the routing and remote access. In there, I right click and then I click new, and then new routing I think, and then in there as you can see, I create the new routing. Next, yep. In there as you can see, the new routing is creating the network service I think, and then in there I change the all the firewall to off in the domain, in the public, in everything there it was off, and then it will be off, and then I open the network policy server to create a new network policies, and then I create a new network policies for the VPN, and then I create it and I permit, as you can see it was permit administrators that I create. Next. As in here, I'm creating the new network policy. The policy name, I give the policy name, and then I click X. In there, I choose the Windows group and the user group to connect it to my client. So I have the remote control for my client, so I can uh, maybe controlling the client that I have in one network. Next, as you can see in here, I already created the internet address is 10, 0, 2, and 5. Destination name is VPN connection, and then I allow other people to use this connection. The option allows anyone with access to this computer use this connection, so it can I can control now, and I open the client server, and as you can see, I connected the VPN is connected. So as you can see in there, I connected my remote access control to my client server to make it that I can control my client server. Make sure. Okay, in here I am monitoring the performance. The Windows server that I have, it was only the monitor. I can see the monitoring performance that my CPU have and my disk. As you can see in the left is resources monitor, and in the right performance monitor. That I just want to show the monitoring performance that uh, can be seen in Windows service. Next. It is the read-only domain controller. In here, it will have the use of this. The function is will increase the security. It will be more faster and logon, and it can replicate domain controller. So if we want another controller in another place in the SBU, we can use it, and then it can make it stable. So the DC or the domain controller can be stable. So in here, the first thing that we do is open Active Directory user computer, and then we click the Rafli.id or the fuller local domain. We right click and then click Rise Domain Controller Level. And in there, as you can see, that the domain is Rafli ID and the current domain consumption level is Windows Server 2012 R2. It was already correct. And then we close. And then we open the server local manager in the properties. As you can see, it was the second server. The computer name is, I click the computer name right there is the second Windows server that I have. Next, yeah. In here, as you can see, I changed the name of the work group that in the second server, and then I changed the name to the work group to be TMP or temporary work group, and then the computer name domain change. It will come to the temporary work group. It is very okay. And then we open to my first server. In there, we are opening the Active Directory user and computer. We are click the computer, and then we in there, as you can see, I have the roughly PC, and then I delete it. Okay, and then after that, I open the domain controller, and then I open Active Directory domain service installation wizard. Next. And there, it was open to the site and default first site name, and we click next, and then additional domain control option. It was the information about there are currently no DNS server and registered and systematically named server for this domain. Okay, next, and then it was created. The server that I want is the server 2 that I created. in the Active Directory domain structure generation wizard. It was finished. As you can see, I opened the domain controllers. It was pop up the Rafli server 2. It was already in there. It was success to be created. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it for us, Mr. Tom. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.